Hello, collective. I am so sorry. I was just reading these cards and I put something there, but it went over the thingamajig and it went boop boop and the camera shut off. And I don't have one of those movie makers on this particular device, so I'm going to have to reread the cards very quickly for you. My apologies. We have an Empress reverse in the central energy. She's overwhelmed and she's full of anxiety right now. She's working very, very hard in a very, very dark place, and she's got helpers. And there are little critters that are like cats and stuff helping her too. So she's challenged because you are the main female. Because she's challenged because she is not the main female. You are. And you have all of these opportunities coming your way, and she wants them. And in the subconscious, they've got the Fool reversed, and there's the community here. So it's her and all the people that she's working with, and this is a very dark situation that they're working with. If so, you can see that they're working by very small headlamps, and it's a very dark place. And it's like a basement or a dungeon or something. And they're all doing the same thing. Risk taking, taking risks, behaving recklessly, and they're making bad choices. Because in the recent past, you came into an Ace of Pentacles. You are coming into a new financial opportunity of prosperity, of abundance. You could be coming into a new career. And there are two people here in your energy, a masculine and a feminine, and they've been hiding themselves, they've been cloaking themselves. And they see here that you've got an Ace of Pentacles. And their intention is to bring about a painful ending for you. Ten of Swords in the upright. Their intention is to stick 10 swords in the back of this mature woman who's going on a journey. She's moving forward into this Ace of Pentacles, this new cycle that she manifested, earned, however you wish to think about that. In the near future, we have a masculine here who's all up in his thoughts about it. He's suffering a heartbreak. He was not loyal. It could be that he was in the previous cycle. He could have been somewhat of a partner, or yeah, a partner, a mate, a brother, a friend, whatever. But he's suffering a heartbreak because he was disloyal and he betrayed you and you boogied on out of there. Or maybe he feels that he's feeling grief right now because you're leaving. Maybe this painful ending, this 10 of Swords, when you came into your Ace of Pentacles and you as the mature woman are moving on, your expectation is to go on a journey. These false people who have been cloaked in your energy field, their intention was to put 10 swords in your back, but it could be that that is also their own expectation, that you moving on like this, going forward into this Ace of Pentacles, is giving them 10 swords in the back, and this heartbreak and upset. And now he's obsessed mentally with the fact that you're walking along. You're the main female. You're a mature woman. You've been heavily burdened. But you're coming into forward movement. You've gained a victory over this scenario. This Empress wanted to take you out, put 10 swords in your back, and then pretend to be you. She wanted to put 10 swords in your back so that this guy, in your lower vibration of suffering and whatever else that they could put upon you, could then command your energy and have his way with you or whatever. I mean, that's typically what they do. They knock you out of your stability and then, you know, destabilize and then reformat. I don't know. It's been my own experience. It's a constant thing. So anyway, you got forward movement, you got a victory, you're going on a journey. And you got sudden wealth coming in. And sudden wealth could be spiritual wealth. It could be a spiritual inheritance. It could be actual money. It could be freedom to move forward into an actual divine union after having been stabbed in the back and messed with all this time by these ones. Moving into a celebration of harmony and engagements. And you know who with? The main male. He's here. That Empress in the reverse knows he's here. He's in the environment. And she's challenged by you. She's challenged because she's not you. And you're right here, right at the top of the wheel here. Woo, coming right in. This is the lens you're looking through. You've gained a victory. You're moving into sudden wealth. You're moving forward into freedom and marriage and celebration, harmony, reunions with the main male. The hopes and fears section here has fast thinking and brave truthful defending of your beliefs. You stand firm and you take action. You don't let anybody come in and command your mind. It's like, no, this is who I am. This is what I believe. And I'm moving forward accordingly. And here you have a wish come true right into that. See, these ones want to destabilize you, knock you off your firm foundation so that they can, get you off your path. And then in the outcome here, we have the Queen of Cups. So you are emotionally stable. You're a healer. You're compassionate and comforting, and you care about those in your environment, and you nurture yourself and others from a full cup. And these ones are left in bad health because they can no longer siphon your life force, your vitality, and heal themselves with it. You've claimed it. They can't take it. And you're moving forward into your new cycle, and you will use your gifts to bring healing and comfort and nurturing to those in your environment from a compassionate and caring place. From a full cup. You're the Queen of Cups. From a full cup. See? So now these ones are in bad health because they can't siphon your energy from you and take it and use it for their own purposes without your permission or approval or anything. They just take it, right? By putting these 10 swords in your bag, they knock you out. They're like, okay, now what you have, what you are is ours, right? Well, apparently it didn't work because you're moving on forward into your journey. They're in bad health. They're in a state of poverty. They're going to court, or they're in court right now for what they did in a family room, trying to move against your wish fulfillment in the distant horizons, your pathway, your house, your gift. Whatever they did there, they're facing imprisonment because they came against a privileged lady and her courtship, her divine union. There's evidence about it. The thieves are concerned because they came against a divine union that is going to birth a divine child, or this divine union is going to birth a brand new beginning, a brand new way of seeing things. Which is going to cause an unexpected income. And somebody's very concerned. They've received a message of concern that they came against people of high honor. They worked with expectation to steal their great fortune. And now this mature man could be facing an ending. A wealthy man is under adjudication. And there is going to be a change which will bring about despair for these ones. For the official evidence and the officials calling judgment on what they did against these lovers. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to go through the whole deck like that. It just happened. Guess it was meant to be. So Empress Reversed is working in the dark places with her friends. They're all doing the same thing. They're repetitive. They have a specific purpose in mind. They're challenged because they're not the main female, and the main female is coming into these opportunities that they're daydreaming about. They want it. They want it. They're challenged because you are patient and you know that everything happens in divine order, and you know that there is no greater goal than to love. So you're successful in that regard. This Empress Reversed, all those people she's working in the shady area with, this community, they're acting very recklessly, taking risks, making bad choices. They trust whatever it is they're doing. Or it could be that this main female is, now this is the subconscious of the read, and that's their read. So they trust their inner voice. They trust whatever it is that they've been doing. This is their way of life. This is all they know, and they trust it. They trust that it's going to guide them correctly. They're envious. They're envious of your Ace of Pentacles. They're hiding in your energy. with the intention of putting 10 swords in your back. And you're just sitting here looking at the humorous side of things. You're like, man, I'm just looking at the lighter side of stuff. You're not focused on anything heavy duty. It's like, yeah, okay, so I got 10 swords in my back. Yeah, it hurts, man. But you know how it is when, when I was younger, I'll just share this with you. When I was younger, I smoked a lot of cannabis back before it was legal. And I would always get bloodshot eyes because back before it was legal, it was the best. Okay, you can't get that kind of stuff from these legal shops nowadays. Anyway, I used to use Visine all the time because I'd get bloodshot eyes, so I'd use Visine. And after a long time of using and it burned like heck to put Visine in my eyes. It started burning, and I kept using it. And then eventually, it was like using the Visine caused my eyes to even be more bloodshot. I mean, they would just get like red, on fire, and they would burn. But the thing about it is, before they started to turn red like that, when the burn was there, but it was still working like it was supposed to, it was like the burn was there. So you get accustomed to the burn. You get accustomed to the pain of it, to the discomfort of it. And so you're walking around, you got 10 sores in your back. You've had people coming after you for the longest time. And yeah, man, you sit there and you're like, right, doing your stretches, doing your breathing, being patient and working it out and just doing your best. Focusing on the lighter side of life. Because that's what gets you through it. Maybe the eyes started turning bloodshot even more because I started to focus on the pain rather than on the results. I don't know. It could just be that I developed an allergic reaction. Whatever. So these ones, they're in doubt now for what they did, and they're under judgment. They don't have all the answers, and they're under judgment. For putting these 10 swords in your back. And and that gave you growth. I mean, so even though you didn't like running around with 10 swords in your back and it was quite painful and you had to deal with it and process it and do all of that you have to do when that kind of stuff happens, you expanded in your consciousness and in your awareness and in your ability to manage yourself. These ones are in denial. You weren't supposed to manage yourself like that. You were supposed to fall down and be defeated. The fact that you're not heartbroken has this fellow heartbroken. He can't get you out of his thoughts. He was using your energy. And it could be that he was your past spiritual spouse even. And he could have left you for a karmic woman. And all this time they've been hiding in your energy, siphoning your energy while you've been living alone, doing your best on your own, managing these 10 swords in your back. And they thought that they were going to bring you around for another cycle where they were going to use your energy to heal themselves and to make their lives okay while you suffered because you had to carry their shit. Energetically, you may not have even known you were doing it. You just knew that life sucked. But this time around, it's going to be a little different. This time around, they're suffering because there's a divorce. And they're confused. And in their thoughts. They brought all this adversity to you. And they're like, how the heck? You surrendered your need to control it. You forgave the situation. And you not only were you in service to others, helping others, but first of all, you healed yourself, forgave the situation, and then you decided to go out into the world and be a good person. And they're envious of that. You're the fact that you persevered through this. They're in denial. They were expecting you to be lonely, but you're not. That was ended. Because you possess the power and the free will to create your own happiness. That's what 10 swords in the back gave you. They left you out in the cold and lonely with 10 swords in your back. But you found the will and the strength to create your own happiness and to pull yourself up out of that. You expanded your consciousness, your awareness, your growth. You bloomed is what you did. What is that? That's a lily, right? The lily, it's born in the depths, in the mud. And you would never think that something that beautiful that has to struggle up through so much muck would ever survive. But it does. Heartily. So now this one, he has to accept the things that he cannot change. He's got you in his thoughts, but he's in a heartbreak. He's in a 3 of Swords. And he has to come to a state of acceptance about this. Because you've gained a victory and you're moving forward. You're taking a journey. You've got sudden growth and sudden wealth, abundance. You're coming into abundance. You're a limitless being. There's a reunion and a celebration with a mature man. You've gained your freedom and you're going to have domestic happiness and harmony. A marriage. A divine marriage. Never ending? A divine never ending marriage? A marriage that'll never die? A union that will never die? A wish come true. A wish come true because of your quick thinking and your ambitiousness and your courage. The fact that you defended your beliefs, you stood up for who you are, and you avowed yourself as a sovereign being, even if it meant losing everything. And it most likely often did. But you trusted yourself that your inner voice always guided you correctly. And you may have had little to nothing at all at times. But you always trusted that inner voice, that inner your essence when it spoke to you, even if the world told you you had completely lost it, even if you questioned yourself. You trusted that inner voice. That's the union with spirit. That's the union with the heaven. That's trusting in the universe that even when everything has been taken from you and it's hard and you're struggling, it's still going to work out. With patience and knowing that there's no greater goal than to love, accepting that everything happens in divine order, persevering, knowing that, at first it was blind faith, but after a time you knew through experience and your personal testimony that even when you had little, it always worked out. And even if you fell again, it always worked out again. And you're still here. And throughout all of those processes of falling and rising and falling and rising, defending your beliefs and who you have become, and not letting somebody else rewrite your story or describe yourself or write you or change your name or your definition or your looks. It's like people can do anything they want to you, and they have. Tore you up. It's no fun. The Empress reversed and all her friends coming after you. Doesn't feel good, but you got your wish come true. And you got your health. You honor the physical vessel that enshrines your soul. And health doesn't necessarily mean, being 65 with a 25-year-old body. Health is eating right, or at least trying to. And it's at least focusing on the electrical system, the nervous system, the mental body, the emotional body, the fields, the energetic health and well-being. Are there any holes in your aura? Leaks, tears that make you vulnerable to these kinds of attacks? That make you vulnerable. So you honored the physical vessel that enshrines your soul in all ways. You came to know yourself intimately. But you had to, because you had to know what belonged to you and what belonged to somebody else. What was yours to manage and what was yours to wash away. Anyway, you managed yourself. You're coming into a wish come true. You're a Queen of Cups. You're compassionate. These came out. These two came out reversed. Okay, so you're compassionate. So you're balanced. Queen of Cups, balanced and free. You create your own happiness. These ones who came against you, unfortunately, they're it says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Guilt. But it came out in the reverse. So these ones are not able to release the beliefs that don't assist in their soul growth. And they don't have any peace. They're not at peace. So I don't know. That all came out. Okay. So you're using your intuition. You love yourself. Let me say something here. about all of these attacks, and the mental bodies of people around you could have been manipulated, and they could have been moved into behaving and saying certain things against you, using specific languages or whatever, which was meant to put 10 swords in your back, knock you off your balance. And it could have very well been necessary for you at some point, and this very well may be why you're experiencing this blessing, is because you chose you. Finally. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. You're very in tune with your intuition. You may seem indecisive at times, but that's because you go inward and you listen to your intuition before you make a decision. You love yourself, and it may have been very necessary for you to come to the determination that it was necessary to love yourself first and foremost, next to God or whoever your higher power is, in order to survive. You had to stop putting people above yourself. You had to stop emptying yourself to please others who were never satisfied. And they're in grief now. They're in serious grief. Because you're entering relationships that are for your highest good. People who are for your highest good. People who live life, a life of gratitude like you. Thankful for the opportunities that life presents, even when they are painful. These ones failed. They failed to take you down. It was all in their imagination. Okay? Because you're getting your happiness. And they're in fear now. And they're blaming everybody. They're blaming themselves. They're blaming each other. And you may have noticed that habitual pattern. This may have seemed like a mindset, like a virus in the collective field. How everybody around you, including yourself maybe. I know it happened for me. You know, in my youth, it was always somebody else's fault. I mean, I don't even remember exactly when it is that I started to take accountability. I honestly don't know how old I was when I started to do that. I know that it was a little later. I could have been in my 40s maybe, before I realized. So yeah, I've been on my healing journey and on my journey to know self, to know thyself, since I was 37, so 20 years. It's been a long, long journey. And getting to know thyself is one of the best, most rewarding things. And once you do that, you're never going to let somebody else come in and rewrite your story. It's the most valuable thing that you have, is when you finally feel that you know thyself and your essence, and you're comfortable with who you are, and you love yourself. And somebody comes in and they tell you that you should have done this right, or this different, or maybe you should do like that, or maybe you should do like this. It can be very irritating, because you've made a vow to yourself to honor yourself, to love and cherish yourself. And when others come into your world and express dissatisfaction, they're simply no longer allowed. It's like, well, then you got to go. Why would you want to be here? It makes no sense that you would bring your agitation for a situation that you really have no control over, and make everybody miserable in the attempt to achieve the inevitable. or the unachievable. Achieve the inevitable in that everything's going to break and fall apart. Achieve the unachievable in that you can't own this. All you'll get is a broken, watered down version of it, which is what they like, because they just want your energy. They don't want you. They just want your energy, because whether you are in a piss poor, shameful, sorry state or a happy-go-lucky state, it's your energy that brings them health and wealth and um, well-being. So their strategy isn't working. You're the main female. Okay, she's challenged because you're the main female. You're coming into all your opportunities. You are patient. You know there's no greater goal to love. You love yourself. You're about self-concern, self-healing. You're very independent. You don't need anybody coming into your world telling you who you are or how you should manage your schedule or give you a perception or an opinion about your ability to cook or do whatever you do. Nobody needs that kind of stuff. Why? So now they want to seek an apology. They want to apologize. They want forgiveness. You trusted yourself, and this whole community came at you recklessly, took lots of risks, and they're seeking, they could be making confessions. This community could be turning on that Empress. Making confessions, asking for forgiveness. It could be in an online community, like gang stalkers or whatever. Somebody impersonating you, like with fake accounts, fraudulent accounts maybe, acting like they're you, while stifling the flow of your real account. They could have stolen your identity. I don't doubt that Google and all these other, fancy sites that actually own the flow of AI. I mean, they can do that kind of stuff. They could say, okay, well, this one's we're just going to knock that one out and we're going to up that one, right? You can put all your stuff there. It's just never going to be seen. I don't know. Some people say that I have a wild imagination. But if you can dream it, it is possible. And if you can think about it, it's already been thought about and is part of the collective field of awareness and consciousness. All you're doing is picking up on the thought. You just think it's new. Yeah, these false people, they were bringing harassment and gossip and things to you, trying to stick 10 swords on your back. They could have turned this whole community on you. They could have gang stalked you. They could have gossip. So when you walk in the room and everybody turns to look at you and their mouths are open and you know it's obvious that they've all stopped speaking mid-sentence and there's nothing being said. I mean, they just stop, right? So you know, especially if it's happened to you multiple times, so you know. And that was to cause you a painful ending, a natural disaster, some sort of frustration that would hinder your growth. These people are, they're under judgment. for trying to cause doubt in you. Yeah, justice is going to be served. You will be getting a life of extravagance. You're coming into a fortune. You're coming into your reward. You're coming into your reward. Oh my gosh. For withstanding everything that you have been through. Okay? You're coming into your reward, and they still are coming after it. They want it, but you're coming into it. Justice is going to be served. Judgment is here. Justice is going to be served. These ones have to accept it. They can't get you out of their thoughts. They're suffering now because there's a divorce. They're cut off. They can no longer siphon your energy or use your spiritual wealth and inheritance. And this is your essence, your energy. That's your wealth. And they have been stealing it and living a life of extravagance. So now, I mean, when you think about it, how many people do you think your energy has been covering? How many people have been walking around manifesting material wealth and friendships and other stuff, wearing your essence, your energy? And people see them as this person but it's not really them. It's your essence that they took while putting 10 swords in your bag. So you're getting to victory over this. You're going on a journey. You're getting sudden wealth, abundance, and these ones are now on overload, and they're in a state of fright. They're paranoid. They're in an overload, and they're in a state of fright. They're very depressed now because you're coming into sudden wealth, this super abundance. They're frightened. They're overloaded. You've got a reunion coming in, a celebration, a marriage, a beautiful, domestic, happy, harmonious, delightful union that never ends or that doesn't die, It could be in your life that your relationships, once you allowed yourself to be really happy and maybe you thought in love, that it just maybe something happened and they found a girlfriend or a boyfriend and then shattered your heart, and that whole thing was just manipulation to try to get you to close off your heart. To give up on love so that when your divine counterpart shows up, you would deny him or her. You may have been blind. You may not have known what was happening throughout your life, that this was the goal, to get your heart so wounded and your trust so damaged that you would purposefully sabotage your kingdom union. But that was an illusion. These ones were stuck in an illusion about that. They're in danger now. They're in danger of having an accident and having a death. You've reached your goals. Wish come true. You honor your physical vessel. You defend your beliefs. You stand up for who you are. You don't let anybody else come in and tell you who you are and puppet you and command you. These ones want to come in and make a compromise now. They want some kind of an agreement. But you're the Queen of Cups, and you are balanced, and you have gained your freedom. And these ones, they are guilty, and they're not at peace. They're not at peace. They've been playing you, this man and his false person, his karmic partner or whatever. They've been playing you and they wanted to eat your energy, and they did. They hurt you bad. Left you lonely, fending for yourself. And now they want your consideration because you claimed you took your energy back, and they want your consideration. But you're just over here having sweet dreams. You've got your freedom, you're in balance, you're satisfied, you're comfortable. You may have had a lazy day. These ones were tempted by the wealth, by the reward that your marriage, your upcoming marriage, has earned you, this life of abundance. And they're confused, but they ran out of time, and this has got them super stressed out. You were ready, and you are coming into an unconditional love. There's evidence of what these ones tried to steal from you, and now they're facing homelessness. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a great night. See you on the next one.